Centuries after the defeat of the Sith Empire in the Great Hyperspace War of 5000 BBY, a young Force-sensitive human named Freedon Nadd was accepted into the Jedi Academy on Ossus, where he trained under a number of powerful teachers, including Mata Tremaine, a master of lightsaber combat, and Odan Ur, who built the Great Jedi Library. Dreaming all his life of becoming one of the legendary knights who protected the Republic, Nadd was hardworking and naturally talented, learning remarkably quickly and demonstrating incredible skill with the Force. Praised by his instructors and standing out amongst his peers, Nadd was certain he would soon be granted the title he sought. Yet while his masters acknowledged his skill and potential, they questioned his humility and decided to perform one final test to ensure he was truly committed to the ways of the light side. And so, in 4400 BBY, when it came time for the Masters to select those apprentices to be awarded the rank of Jedi Knight, Nadd was passed over in order to see how he dealt with failure. Confused and heartbroken by their rejection, Nadd was desperate to learn what he did wrong and went to Master Mata Tremaine for answers. But rather than help him, she ignored his presence for a time and then refused to reveal the reason he was not selected. As she spoke, his rage only increased, accusing the Masters of hoarding secrets to secure their own power, and brazenly declared himself a Jedi, rejecting their authority. Tremaine then challenged him to a duel to prove the validity of his claim, which Nadd accepted, brimming with anger and resentment as he fought to keep pace with his master. When at last the student spotted an opening, he swung his lightsaber down and slew his enemy. Yet just before striking, he noticed that Tremaine made no attempt to stop him, instead flashing a look in her eyes that revealed this was all a test which he failed. Devastated by her death, Nadd came to hate the Jedi Order, blaming them for placing him in the situation and forcing his hand. Guided by hatred and pain, he fled the planet, and soon set a course for the old Sith Empire, determined to become a powerful dark side sorcerer and avenge himself against the Jedi. Arriving at Ashas Ree, he found the holocron of the Sith pureblood king, Adus, who unified the tribes of Korriban in 2800 BBY. Continuing to explore Sith space, he eventually heard rumors about a Dark Lord on Yavin 4 and so made his way to investigate. When he arrived, he was attacked by the Massassi worshippers of Naga Sadow, the last Dark Lord of the old Sith Empire. After engaging him in battle, the Massassi were impressed and deemed him worthy of being presented to their master. Following his defeat in the Great Hyperspace War, Naga Sadow fled to Yavin 4, where he established a secret base and continued his studies of Sith sorcery and alchemy, experimenting on his Massassi slaves. After extending his life for centuries, he placed himself into suspended animation, awaiting the day he might make up for his failure by preparing a worthy apprentice to help form a new and stronger Sith Empire. When the Dark Lord was awoken and presented with Freedon Nadd, he saw that such an apprentice was finally before him, and bestowed his knowledge, revealing the ancient secrets of the Sith, which Sadow had used to devastating effect during the Great Hyperspace War. When Nadd had learned all he needed, he created his own holocron to preserve his knowledge, and killed his master Naga Sadow in order to take the title Dark Lord of the Sith. Ever eager to expand his knowledge, Nadd became a great collector of Sith artifacts before conquering the planet of Onderon, which he made into a new dark side civilization, steeping the population in Sith culture and lore. Ruling with an iron fist from Isis, the planet's only city, any who resisted him were exiled outside their protective walls to be devoured by the wild beasts which roamed the land. Yet some of these exiles survived and tamed the creatures to become beast riders, leading to centuries of conflict with Nadd's supporters. Though his reign lasted for decades, word of a new Dark Lord of the Sith on Onderon eventually made its way to the Jedi and Republic, leading them to send their forces to defeat and kill Freedon Nadd. Yet the Dark Lord survived as a Sith spirit, and the planet continued to be steeped in the dark side, with Nadd's direct descendants ruling in Isis. A few centuries later, in 4000 BBY, King Omin and Queen Aminoa both became students of the Dark Lord, summoning his spirit to train under his instruction. Yet the couple failed to meet Nadd's expectations, as the Republic soon learned of their dark side connection and joined with the Beast Riders in their war against Isis. First, they defeated the Queen and her forces, installing a new government, before fighting and winning a second war against the King, who raised another dark side army. Fortunately for the Dark Lord, the Force-sensitive royal cousins from the Empress Teta system, Alima and Satal Keto, were now present on Onderon, as their deep fascination with the ancient Sith led them to the planet, where they hoped to find help translating an ancient text. When Nadd realized King Omin was soon to be defeated, he appeared before the Ketos, in whom he sensed great potential, and named them the heirs to his legacy, giving them a number of Sith artifacts before they fled. After their departure, the Dark Lord returned to the site of King Omen's defeat and defiantly proclaimed that despite the appearance of victory, the Jedi were in fact defeated. Dismissing his spirit, Jedi Master Arkajeth and his former apprentice Ulic Qel-Droma then led the effort to cleanse Onderon of the dark side and move the tomb of Freedon Nadd, King Omen, and Queen Aminoa to the moon of Duxon. Yet before Qel-Droma departed the planet, the spirit of Freedon Nadd appeared before him and ominously prophesied that he would one day become a powerful Sith Lord. Though Nadd and his followers were defeated, his legacy lived on through the Ketos, who studied the knowledge bestowed upon them and learned the secrets of Sith sorcery and alchemy. Through the Krath, a secret society of their own creation, they trained others in the forbidden arts, and formed a powerful dark side army to embark upon a holy crusade, staging a coup against the government of their parents to take control of the Empress Teta system before going to war with the entire Republic. During one of their attacks, they killed a number of influential Jedi, including Master Arkajeth, thereby achieving some measure of vengeance for the defeat of the Naddists on Onderon. With the Sith resurgent, the galaxy once again faced the threat of war, not only from Alima and Satal, but also from two others with connections to Freedon Nadd, as Ulic Qel-Droma was enraged to learn of the death of his master, and fell to the dark side in his pursuit of vengeance against the Ketos. The Jedi Exar Kun was the other light side force user who fell to darkness, traveling to meet the spirit of Freedon Nadd, who sent him to Korriban and Yavin 4 to train as a Sith. But Exar Kun tired of his overbearing master, and used the Sith talisman to blast the Dark Lord with force energy, destroying his spirit. Yet before fading away, Nadd reached out through the Force to the Ketos, warning them of Exar Kun, and declaring that Satal, Alima, and Qel-Droma were the true heirs to his Sith legacy. Despite the warning, Satal was soon killed by Qel-Droma, who then joined forces with Alima and Exar Kun to bring about the devastation of the Great Sith War. Thousands of years later, as Darth Bane sought to reform the Sith Order, he found the holocron of Freedon Nadd, but had little skill in Sith sorcery and so could not take advantage of the knowledge within. Yet when it came time to train his apprentice, Darth Zana, she used the holocron to master the ancient arts, which she later used to kill Bane and carry on his legacy. Love audiobooks? Then be sure to check out Audible, where they have the world's largest collection available. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below, and get 2 free audiobooks to start out. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Mamoru, the obscured hermit alchemist, the spectral knight, Sylvan of many colors, and Sir Rice of the Dreadfort. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.